Before you decide to trade or invest by subscribing to any of our tools, system, methods, posts, or commentary, please read this disclaimer document carefully. Please go to our website visualdecisions.in and read the disclaimer and terms and condition documents available there at the bottom of all pages in footer. GMG toolsets are based on market geometry, moon cycles, WD-GAN, and natural number science. These subjects are being taught by various Indian and international researchers and teachers. I'll advise you to thoroughly understand the underlying concepts by going through their books, teachings, and videos available. We are just the providers of these tools and not the teachers of any of the underlying subject matter. Our objective is to make further research and analysis easier for the people by providing these tools. We now come to the third tool of the GN tool sets, which is theoretical angle and natural ratios. I have already applied this indicator on the chart just to show you two things that you need to understand before using this indicator. Number one is the angles, which are theoretical angles, which are like 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degree angle. This one is 30 degree, this one is 45, and this one is 60 degree angle. The angles are being drawn downwards because we are plotting from a high. So if I plot these angles from a low, then it will be plotted upwards. Just to show you, I'll move this line. So I am now plotting from a low, so these angles will point upwards. The other thing that is being plotted on this chart are the horizontal line, which are the horizontal support and resistance line, which are the natural ratio lines. So to show you on the chart, this horizontal line, this line, this line, this line, they all are the natural ratios lines which will act like a support and resistance. The third thing that this indicator or tool is plotting are these vertical dotted gray lines. These are the timing lines. These timing lines again are the derivative of these angles and the horizontal support resistance line, which are like natural ratios. So wherever the 45 degree angle is hitting or intersecting with these natural ratio lines, from there you are drawing a vertical timing line. So this is the third plot that this tool set is plotting. Now I'll remove the indicators from the chart to show you one more thing. As I told you, the angles are drawn from a high point or a low point, but the natural ratios are drawn considering the high, low, and the range of the bar. So here, what we'll have to keep in mind is, although the angle can be drawn from a high or a low, but the natural ratio are to be drawn from an impulse candle or an impulse bar. To show you this concept on the screen, I'll take this example. For example, if you're considering this swing and drawing your angle downward from this high, like these angles, okay? So what you will do, you will select this high for the angles, okay? But you can see the range of this candle at the top is very low. So later on, when the market starts going down, what you can do, you can place your first anchor bar from where the angles are being drawn on the highest point, which is like this bar. But the second anchor line, which is the dotted anchor line, is for the impulse bar. So for the purpose of drawing natural ratios, I will not consider this bar. Rather, I will consider this bar, because here the range of the bar is high. So this concept I will show you on screen when we actually apply the indicator on the chart. Let us now apply this indicator on the chart. So the first thing that you need to select is an high or a low from where you want to draw the angle. So I am selecting this high. I am clicking on this candle. I have selected this high. Now it is saying select an impulse bar. So we have to select an impulse bar. So I can select the same bar, which is the high bar, as an impulse bar, or some other bar. For example, I will select this third bar from the high, or this one as the impulse bar. Let us click on this bar. And now the angles are drawn, but they are not correct since we have to adjust the price to bar ratio. So what I will do, I will go to settings, I will lock, go to scales and lock price to bar ratio. I click on lock price to bar ratio. Right now it is around 1.47. I will set it to 1.5 and click OK. Now I will register this price to bar ratio value by clicking the indicator settings, which is 5. I will change it to 1.5 and click OK. Now we are drawing the correct side, not correct angles. So as we discussed earlier, the angles are being drawn from a high or from the placement of the first anchor line, which is like this dark blue colored line, the thick blue colored line. There's one more anchor line, which is the dotted light blue colored line. This one, the second one, this is for the impulse bar. So what I can do, I can, since the range of the high bar is relatively on the higher side, I can select the same bar as the impulse bar. So what I'll do, I'll move this line, the dotted line, to the same bar or the same candle from where we are drawing the angle. So now both the lines are overlapped or intersecting. So now from the same bar we are drawing angles, and from the same bar we are drawing these horizontal support resistance or the natural ratios. So I'll take another example. For example, if you are selecting this as a swing high, the second one, what I'll do, I'll disable this indicator, show you here. If I select this as a swing high bar, then what will happen? So I'll enable this and select this as a swing high. Now, since this swing high is a candle or a bar which has got a very low range, or the high minus low of the bar is like very small value or low value. So we'll select this as an high from where the angles are drawn, but for the natural ratios, the second line I am dragging to the third red color bar, which is like the high range bar. Okay, so this selection is like up to you from where you want to draw the support and resistance horizontal lines, which are like the natural ratio line. So this can be the same bar like in the earlier example, or some other bar which is like the first impulse bar, after that high or low, is being selected. So the angles and the horizontal natural ratio lines, these will act as support and resistance, and the vertical lines will be like the timing lines or the trend change lines. So that is the only thing to understand in this indicator. Now coming to the settings of the indicator, let us understand what is there. So there's price to bar ratio, the anchor line time, which you can watch in our other videos also. Then you can change the colors of the lines in the angles and the thickness of the lines. The important thing is the natural ratio plot levels. So for example, if the price continues to goes down or up from a particular level, these natural ratio support or resistance lines are the 9 levels by default that this plot is drawing. So if you want more, you can increase these levels. So you can see the natural ratio horizontal lines are now increasing. So you can keep on doing this till you are comfortable. Then there's this setting which is called the natural ratio take square root. This I'll explain a bit later. Another setting is extend vertical timing lines. This is like these vertical timing lines are hitting where it is hitting the angle, it is discontinuing from there. If you want it to extend till the end, you can click it and select it, and now the lines are extended till the end of the last horizontal support. So I like it this way, so I have kept it this way. If you want to extend these lines, you can click and select this. They will be extended. Last thing to explain in this video is the role of natural ratio take square root. So the 0 is that you are not taking any square roots, which is like the default value. So you go by this unless and until it is absolutely required to change it. So when you need to change it then? Let us come to this chart, which is like a 1 minute Nifty chart. So I have applied this indicator on this 1 minute Nifty chart. You can see that the distance between the ratios, one line and the other line, the distance is very high. This is because these natural ratios are being calculated by the price high and low ratio. So in comparison to a 1 hour chart or a daily chart where this will be like reasonable, in a smaller time frame chart, when you see that the distance between the support and resistance line is too much or very high, and if you want the lines to be plotted or the support or resistance to be drawn in between these lines, or the distance between the support and resistance, you want to have it slightly lesser than this, you go to settings and increase this number, the natural ratio number, which is like 1, you can have 2, you can have 3. So the bigger number you select, more support and resistance lines you will get. But my advice will be, don't tinker with this value or increase this value unless and until it is absolutely required.